How's it going, guys? And welcome back to the MLG Championships here in Columbus, Ohio. Golden Boy alongside my boy TP.
What's up?
What's up, dude? This is pretty crazy, man, because you have an amazing voice for casting.
Well, thank you very much.
Oh, come on. Thank you very much there.
You're so friendly.
Good. Oh, goodness. So, TP, how you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty well. All-Star game was a lot of fun.
I heard.
Team Alpha coming out with the victory.
Whoa, that's huge. That's huge. How did the other team feel, man?
They're probably a little bit sad that
devastated.
They had to play against me, Scump, Karma, some of the best players in the game.
That's a brutal combination, man.
It's brutal.
It's tough.
It was a good formation for us because this game's more of a sub-heavy game. The team with more pressure is going to have like a better, push and dom, obviously. And we were playing like an AR-heavy team on Team Bravo.
Yeah.
So we really put on the pressure on them, and they couldn't handle it.
Man, well, honestly, when you're going up against TP, it's kind of hard not to think you're not going to win.
Just pull out those W's.
Well, bro, W's all day. But so we have Vanquish going up here against aoV, and not much known about aoV. A lot known about Vanquish.
Right.
Very, very talented team. I believe UMG championship winner as well.
Yeah.
Something to point out there. So this is a squad that has a lot of tools here. Actually, pretty surprising that they're not in the champ bracket, but there was only a couple slots, you know what
definitely.
I mean? And Vanquish just didn't get the points to make it in. But if you had to just say, like, do you think that the aoV will be able to contend here against Vanquish? I mean, given the limited experience.
I definitely think Vanquish is going to come out on top. I've been watching them play, like in the 5K, the 2Ks online. They've been looking really good.
Yeah.
Dito and Fizzerp, been top players for years. They're veterans of the game. They know how to pull out those victories in those tense situations. Fizzerp is really above average at S&D, I would say. He's not one of the best. He plays a little bit too risky, in my opinion, at some points, but definitely a great S&D player, and I feel like this game suits him very well.
I always say that I feel like Fizzerp's like one of the better Search and Destroy players, so it's interesting for you to say that.
Definitely.
Because Fizzerp, to me, has always been that guy, like you said, he's a risk taker.
Yeah.
And I feel like sometimes, that's just what is needed.
You got to respect that, too. He reminds me of Aches on S&D, actually. He's one of those players that's going to go 14-1 or have a little bit of a lesser exactly.
Yeah.
So they're really big playmakers for their teams, and it's good to have.
Yeah, and of course, I think the important thing to note here too is that he has a great support system, around him. I mean, you got to talk about Dito. I mean, the kid, he's just so talented. He's been around for a while now. I believe Shills and Realize, if I'm correct.
Oh, so they got Realize.
They do have Realize.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I just
really
have to look
squad.
over. He's like in the end over there.
Yeah.
And I like this squad. I like this squad of 4. I think they have a lot of potential here to really come out of the open bracket and make some noise. So aoV has a lot in front of them. They want to be able to take this, and I think they know that as well. In looking at this combination of players, though, how do you feel about their mixture? Do you think that their personalities mesh? I mean, we know these guys. We've been playing and talking with them and knowing them for so long now. Do you think that they mesh well together as a group of 4?
Definitely. They do mesh well, but they have some tempers on their teams. They're not afraid to speak their mind, to put it simply. So if things go wrong, that's where you're going to see them start to crumble. Communication is really huge in this game. This game, you need teamwork. It's really easy to kill people, obviously. There's low health. It's more of a tactical game based on positioning and just all-out strategy. So if you start to bicker and just, clog up the communication lines, you're really going to struggle. So I feel like through open bracket there, they're going to be fine. Yeah. But as soon as they hit champs, they really need to, settle down as a team and make sure that none of that stuff goes wrong.
Well, just to let you know, man, there's a stacked open bracket.
Definitely true.
This time around. I mean, you have Vanquish, you have Conquer, you have VVV Gaming, you have Justice, you have the Halo Pros over at Primal, and they're looking really good,
Are
too.
they? I haven't seen them at all.
Obey as well. You have Aware Gaming, Denial. I mean, the list just goes on and on and on.
So much competition.
There is a lot of talent here. But I will say, though, that if I did have to pick a team that I know can come out of this guaranteed, I will say Vanquish.
Definitely.
Without a doubt.
They have the victories. They've won before, and that's why I sort of am predicting them to come out. There's only so many players that have won events, and as soon as you get that confidence, you just want more. You know what I mean? So
exactly. I mean, look at you. Look at you, man. Definitely. You guys won one, and then won another, and then another, and then another. It's ridiculous. So it seems like it is going to be Warhawk Domination to kick things off here between these two teams, Vanquish versus aoV. You can sound off in the chat by actually using the hashtag MLGCOD. Get social about it. Let's talk. But let's go ahead and jump into the action here and give some love to the spectator mode. For some reason, does not seem to be up for some odd reason. I don't know why. So it seems like we have a little bit of a problem here as the two teams have not yet joined just yet. But I don't know.
Okay, we're
seems like it ended. Okay.
All right, we're fine.
You know, I mean, that's a usual in Call of Duty. I mean, it is what it is.
Definitely. Got to make sure everything's good. All the players are set up correctly.
Word.
So big part of the game.
All right, so let's just go ahead and talk about complexity.
Yeah, okay.
Address the elephant in the room, bruh. How you guys feeling?
Me personally, I extremely enjoy this game. The way I play, I'm super aggressive. I'm sneaky. I take advantage of like one player on their team and really make them pay for it. And I feel like the game suits us very well.
Okay.
Due to the reason that we're so versatile.
Okay.
Certain maps, you need more AR players. Certain maps, you need sub players. And in my opinion, Aches and Crim are just, there's no other players like them. They can use whatever the hell they want and perform at the pretty much highest level. So
I have to ask you about Clay. Right, because he's kind of the wild card for me in this one. You picked him up in Clay. It's funny, too, because the reason why you picked up Clay to begin with was because he was the best foul player in the game. Then the foul goes bye-bye.
Yeah.
But he still is amazing, still thrives, in that position. So I guess, how do you feel like Clay is also meshing and blending with this game as well?
Definitely. I feel like Clay, you're going to see him prosper in S&D. That's one of his, it's been one of his strongest game types. And he's one of the smarter players in the game. He really takes his time to learn the maps, learn the little tricks in each map that'll take a player off guard.
Okay.
He'll be that player that'll pull out something weird like a thermal and make it work. And that's why we're so good as a team. We get an idea in our head and we make it work no matter what. And just we sync so well as a team. And when we get on LAN, we get that better communication.
Okay.
We get that energy going. No one can stop us when we get the momentum going.
Well, yeah, and then on top of that too, I mean, you have one of the best coaches in the game, pretty much behind you. I say it, all the time because I feel like he's the reason why so many people now are taking coaching seriously. Like I was approached to coach. Fun fact for you guys watching, I was approached to coach. Like that's how serious it is now. Where they're like, no, we don't just want a guy who was like, someone who doesn't like know the game or know the players. We want someone who, like Mr. X. And I feel like he's really set that precedent. You have guys like Gandhi and Maven who are now coaching. You know what I mean? Like, those are players who have been in that situation. Perfect example, Flame Sword for Optic Gaming, like a veteran in the scene. So how do you feel that has kind of like shifted things a little bit here in the Call of Duty scene? I feel like
the coach's job is to really bring that team together more, make sure the communication lines are open. Communication.
We can say
I have a nice little accent now. Anyways. These high-tier veteran players from other games coming into these Call of Duty teams, and from my opinion, I've been in the Call of Duty scene for a couple of years now, and what I've seen from other players is they just get really tense in those pressure situations. You need to relax. You need to keep that same energy you have, keep the communication lines going rapidly, but don't get nervous. Always think positivity. That's what I sort of thrive on. Make sure no one's bickering at each other.
Dude. Positivity. That's what I'm all about, man.
Just thumbs up.
This is why we get
along. Give a thumbs up. Good job, bro. Yeah, good play.
Yeah, like a dude takes you out, like, way to go, buddy. You played amazing.
That's a little bit too much, but but you know what I'm saying. The coaches, especially Mr. X, they know the game extremely well. And if they can bring an extra set of eyes, another experienced sort of personality to the team, it's just great to have.
I agree with you on that one. And now we're going to be kicking things off, by the way, Domination on Sovereign, as we are going to be watching the boys over on Oh, and actually, for some reason, it seems like some of the names didn't switch, but that's okay. We'll just stick with Fizzerp, because apparently Parasite's there as well. So
gotcha.
Lord knows why that's the case, but Fizzerp's the only person who we actually know is Fizzerp, which is okay, and I'm comfortable with that. Yeah, all right, so let's go ahead and kick it off here with Fizzerp, Domination Sovereign. Now, on Domination Sovereign, what is the game plan? This is a very linear map. It's very straightforward, but there are a lot of opportunities for you to be able to flank around here. How do you approach this one, from the player standpoint?
Definitely. On this map, you really would just want to set up with the 2-cap and really lock them into their back flag. It's a little bit harder to push a 3-cap on this map from what I've seen from the spawns. I know that Infinity Ward is tinkering with the spawns a little bit, so I'm not sure if that's going to change at all. But right now, you're going to really see a team try and lock down that 2-cap you know, CB, AB, etc., and really just lock in these alleys of the map. You really want to control the green street. Visib's doing a perfect job of it. You see it right there, sitting there with the Remington, and they're going to, you know, usually spawn in the back right towards their flag or in the back left and try and funnel out in those both ways. If you can lock it down and, you know, watch the flank, the underground, and all that stuff, you're going to have an easy win.
So, I mean, essentially then the entire point is really not try and push a 3-cap. And I've seen teams do that. I've seen teams go aggressive and try and make a 3-cap happen. And Vizir, by the way, some fantastic movement on his part. I mean, I don't know if he meant to do that, but it definitely worked out well in his favor. As he's going to continue to watch over by B here, it seems as if aoV have managed to push Vanquish through there, and they're getting loud, by the way, which is awesome to see. That hype, that energy that Call of Duty players certainly thrive off of here. And right now, 1 flag in the favor, or 2 flags actually in the favor of aoV. Interesting stuff.
Yeah, you see Fizzerp holding down the street pretty well, but when he's getting these kills, he's not, you know, pushing the precedence of the map. He's not really gaining map control by getting these kills. He is 6-1, so you can't really fault him for it. But he could really help out and push his team a little bit more in order to retake this B flag. But he's looking over the map pretty well, you know, sectioning off the map. He's watching their top control. He's really helping out his teammates at B. But he really needs to, you know, push up more and really get in the other team's face and get the spawn trap going.
Well, and it seems like, you know, this other player here for Vanquish, actually. Again, I'm so sorry about that, guys. We don't know who it is because we have 3 players here with different names. But it seems like Sky, actually ended up getting taken out. Not going to happen there on the turn-on. But going back over to Fizzer's side here, as he is going to find 1 player. That was going to be a connection. Reap there will be the victim of that one. And B and C, excuse me, in the possession of Vanquish at this point in time. What was that? Dude just like popped up out of nowhere. Fizzerp, though, is just finding his Remington, which is awesome because he is just on point right now.
And he must have heard what I said or something. He's getting a little bit more aggressive, pushing up past that mid-map and really racking up the kills for his team right now. He's in the power position of top control, and he's, you know, shooting at the ground, but he still picks up the kill. That was a little bit funny. Thought he saw a body, but he was a dead body. But, you know, pretty much just trading back and forth kills on B. aoV really needs to step it up and, you know, trade more effectively and, you know, use more of a buddy system when you're trying to retake these flags. They're getting the kills, but if you don't push together as a team and really push forward for that map control, they're just going to spawn up and retake it. So
yeah, and what is it about B, right? I mean, B, it seems, how do you go about it? You mentioned a buddy system, right?
Yeah.
Where are your eyes supposed to be glued in that situation? Like, you move in on B, you know that the guys are going to be coming around. You don't quite know where as we go ahead and switch on board over to Sky. Where should your eyes be focused when you're trying to push on B?
Definitely when you're trying to retake that flag, you're most likely going to have control of the green side of the map. The green's the little computer room side.
Yes.
Really where you want to look, let's say you're 2-cap in B, you want to have one guy maybe looking at your ladders or the middle alley, and then definitely always have eyes on the guy at top control. That top control is one of the power spots of the map. If you can take them out of that spot while capping B, you're most likely going to get it.
Interesting stuff there. So now we see here as Rogue and company, they're going to be pushing through. So Rogue actually is going to be setting up here on the side, hoping to see if anyone's going to push over here by computers. But look at that there. Just the pressure that came around there from Vanquish as they were able to just completely thwart that attempt. And again, that power position, like you had mentioned before, up top, that caught them off guard as that player jumped down, was able to take him out there, and then was able to follow through another kill. And it seems like Vanquish is going to do a lovely job of holding this one down.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see, going back on board with Fizzerp, you see him holding down this green street. Once again, they have this B set up. I really would like to see him push up a little bit. You know, like, he's getting those kills, but if you're not, you can really lock them in that back left building. He's sitting a little bit farther back, and he's trying to secure the victory, so I completely understand that. But I'd love to see him get a little bit more pressure so they can pick up some more easy points.
Well, one thing that I've been noticing here from you know, a lot of these teams is that flank happens so much. Like, I mean, you go that wide flank there, and you could really make your way around. And just as the time's going to be winding down here, a 26-point lead for the boys in Vanquish. But yeah, I mean, honestly, it's kind of crazy because you really can get control and just move around the map without ever being noticed. It's pretty scary when you think about it.
Most definitely. If you get that one player behind them to try and disrupt their flag, what I really like about the introduction of Domination in this game is the neutralization feature of the flags.
I do like that. I do agree with you on that one.
So instead of pushing a 3-cap, for example, you push in for a couple seconds, neutralize it, and then back out. So they're still getting that spawn. You still have your 2-cap, but you're really making each point matter that much more.
All right, and there you saw that first side, 94-67. All right, you're a mathematician. What's that?
Say the score again?
94-67. Go ahead.
I believe that's about 27 points there.
Oh, you see? Okay.
I go to school.
I know, I don't. All right, so we're going to see if this next matchup starts up right away. So 27 points, you say? 27 points. Interesting. So can aoV come back on this realistically?
It's going to be really hard. 27-point deficit. They're going to have to hold that 2 cap for pretty much the whole side. If they cannot do that, they're going to have to get desperate at the end and try and push out that 3 cap. And when you do that, you need to be careful about the corner flags. If you push too far, they might spawn behind you. They might spawn middle map by the underground snake at bottom control.
Yeah.
You know, it gets a little bit risky when you're doing that. So they really need to come out strong and just, if they can lock down that 2 cap, it's going to be a lot safer for them.
Yeah, well, I mean, aoV, again, have a tall order in front of them. Vanquish, again, a championship caliber team, if you will. And in the open bracket, it's like pretty much they're the shark in a sea of fish.
Definitely.
You know, and that's scary for them. That's scary for any team in the open bracket right now. As we go ahead and let's see, I think they ended up ending the host. Don't know why, but we'll find out in a little bit. Oh, it seems like one of the players joined the wrong team. Always
the struggle. The struggle.
Always the case. So how have you, you mentioned that this game kind of serves your play style a little bit better.
Definitely.
And because of that sneakiness. So did you feel like, you know, your play in Black Ops 2, while good, I mean, I always enjoyed watching you guys play, you especially, do you feel like this is just a new TP?
Most definitely. I feel like in the past couple of months, I've really gained the confidence from all these wins that we've had. I'm not trying to sound egotistical or anything like that, but when you get, when you feel like no one can beat you, you play with more confidence, you take risks that you know you're going to win, so it doesn't feel like a risk, if that makes sense. And I feel like the difference of this game compared to Black Ops 2 is marathon.
Okay.
If I have unlimited sprint, you're never going to find me.
Okay.
And if I can cause havoc with my team, I get behind them, I go and neutralize their flag. They're like, oh, they start thinking too much. You know, should I go back and cap it? Should I go take the middle flag? They don't know what to do. So I feel like if I have that much more movement speed across the map in a 5-minute half, I'll be bouncing back and forth across the map and just making them confused.
You know, you bring up the neutralization of the flag there, and that is something that, again, we spoke about it before. It's cool, right? It's actually a really cool feature that they put in Domination. Do you think that maybe it is beneficial? Oh, it seems like we had a disconnect for some odd reason. I don't know what's going on.
They broke the game.
They broke the game. How could they? I'm going to continue to see if I can join the host here. But do you feel like this is me just be purely speculation here, run back there, neutralize the flag, run away?
Yes, definitely.
Just run away and just be like, okay, they're getting no points, run away, and then catch them as they're trying to come around that flank.
That's the thing. Every time you get the points from the flags, they're not getting one, you're getting 2. So it makes your, it makes your 2 cap twice as much effective. So you're gaining 2, they're getting 1 instead of you gaining 2, them getting 1. So a neutralized 2 cap, double as effective. A 3 cap is obviously triple.
I really like that like layer of thought that you have to put into that, right? Because it's very simple, you know, when you think about it. But like I know a lot of players are like, oh no, you should always just go for the cap. It's like maybe not.
No,
you know what I mean? If your teammates are holding it down, you neutralize, and then you drop back, and then you just pick them off. Like you said, you're getting points, and they're not getting anything.
There's no risk at it really.
Yeah.
And especially against certain teams, you might want to go ahead and cap it. But against certain teams that are a little bit more aggressive and might challenge you on that gunfight, if you just neutralize it and dip out, make them confused, and then pop back in when they get back on it, it's a nice new layer of strategy that's into Domination.
I do appreciate that quite a bit. As now we are going to be, hopefully kicking off the second side. Any player you want to take a look at on the aoV side in particular?
Let's hop on with Paranoia. I want to see what he can do. He's rocking the Vepr. Is that the Vepr I see?
The Vepr. All right.
I really enjoy using this submachine gun. Although I do like the rate of fire of it, which is much higher than, let's say, the Vector or the MTAR. It just doesn't have the range on it, but I do like the no recoil. It has basically no recoil.
Well, he does throw the muzzle brake on there, which gives him a little bit of the range in that one. But, I mean, the improvement is it's minuscule, but it's still, beneficial at the very least. And you can see here actually ended up finding a player, so that was going to be a good connection with him and really not encountering any kind of recoil as well. So it's not, I think that's one thing I do enjoy about the Vepr in that regard. But, all right, so we finally got realized, by the way. So, yes,
that's good to see.
We know that Realize is the player now. And we are, let's see. So flag has been neutralized as aoV is going to look to push their way through here. Fizzer's going to be hanging out over by the computer side. Coming around the right-hand side. He will find a player in the corner, and he is going to get taken out. Big stomp there as we jump on board here with, let's go give some love to my boy Realize, who really has just blossomed in the Black Ops 2 season. Caster's Curse, unfortunately. We'll go to him in a second. But yeah, I mean, Realize that guy, man. He's really blossomed. Hopefully this is the team that he could stick with.
Definitely. I want to see this guy prosper. He has a lot of natural talent in the game. I feel like if he fixes his attitude a little bit, focus on the communication and just the mentality side of the game, it's really going to benefit him.
And that's the part that worries me, right, about this squad, because you have 3 highly emotional players in this team. By emotion, guys back at home, don't think like, oh, I'm insulting them. No, they're passionate individuals. They get vocal. They get loud.
They care a lot.
It's
really good to see, and it's really exciting to watch them play in like a LAN environment like this, where they're getting loud, they're screaming at each other.
Exactly.
But that can also go both ways. You start screaming at each other in a negative way.
Exactly.
You're going to start getting that negative mentality.
And I think that's been the problem that FizzUp has been having with his teams here, and why this Vanquish squad to me is just so compelling. You have a team that essentially is just full of very vocal individuals, and yet they're meshing. They're working well together, and I like seeing that.
Yeah, most definitely. So this B flag seems to be going back and forth. aoV had a nice little flank right there to try and neutralize the C, but realized did a good job noticing that where he spawned on the right side, rotated back and picked up that flag for his team.
Yeah, it's a good pickup there by them, as they do possess 2 flags here, B and A, of course, as you pointed out, TP. aoV, they cannot seem to get their bearings together, as they're currently going to be down by 7 points on this. Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry. aoV is actually going to be up by 6 points, but that score is going to be quickly going away. It seemed like aoV came out strong out the gate, but from what I can tell here, it seems like the scoreboard is dominant by Vanquish.
Most definitely. aoV came out hot, did exactly what I said they needed to do with holding that 2 cap, but they got a little bit too over-aggressive. VQ is definitely a veteran team. They know how the score works, and they didn't have to overextend because they had such a nice lead, 27 points in the first half. So they're playing a little bit slower, and they regained that B, really kept their composure there, and it was completely fine.
Yeah, and now, like as you can see, it's going to be tie, and they do manage to retake a lead, 47-46, a 1-point lead. But if you add that over, it's a 28-point lead in total, not the position that aoV wants to be in at this point in time. Realize and FizzUp, realize most importantly, 11-5 here seems to just be finding players all over the place. Let's go ahead and jump on board. Reap ended up dying. Let's go ahead and jump on board with Rogue here, 4-6 here. And you can definitely tell that the nerves are getting to them. Like they're shooting at each other. And you can tell that they're panicking a little bit there. And they had a good start at the start of this game, but for some reason, it just wasn't picking up for them.
Most definitely. You can see right there, you can see that they don't really know how to push out of this spawn trap they were in. You saw 3 players push green side, 1 player from VQ flanked right behind them, picked them all up. It's just you can't let that kind of stuff happen. They were pushing together, and that's good, but if you're not pushing up on all sectors of the map, you're going to get caught off guard.
Yeah, it's a wave, right? You can't go in a line like lemmings, because if you do, then things like that happen. You end up getting flanked around, and then a player gets a triple or a double, and that's just not what you want to happen. So Sky here is going to continue to manage around. His teammates actually did manage to neutralize the B flag. Sky ended up finding him. That was
nice new mantle feature. Gotta love it.
You can't shoot while mantling, so that is. I mean, honestly, dude, you know how many times I got killed because I'm going to jump around a corner and end up jumping.
Makes me so angry.
Jumping on a ledge. So I'm okay with that. Infinity Ward, you got my vote there. But with 25 seconds left on the clock here, score is going to be 73-67. At this point, it is all done and done. Vanquish, they managed to take game 1 here in Domination Sovereign. I would have to ask you, for Domination, what is actually like one of your favorite maps to play? Like just that allows you to spread your wings and fly.
I really enjoy playing Octane. It's one of the maps that allows you to 3-cap, and I really appreciate that. If you have the ability to push up and take the people's home flag while they're spawning out, I really like maps like that. And if they go 4 down, they're going to pay for it.
Nice. Well, Realize, by the way, went big there. 17-9, 2 caps to his name. Big performance out of him. W, once again, goes to Vanquish. So they managed to secure that one with ease. Actually, they win by a healthy amount, 27+ points.
Good win on that.
Now, going into Search and Destroy, I don't know what their pick is going to be. But Search and Destroy maps, what would you like to see right now, ideally?
Search and Destroy. I like watching me some Warhawk.
I love Warhawk.
Do you know what the map is?
What?
Right now?
Oh, I don't know if it's Warhawk, but I hope it's Warhawk.
Me
They're vetoing, so we'll actually find out.
Oh, the veto, sweet.
The veto. Gotcha. So we're going to find out in a little bit, guys. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, we have Search and Destroy coming up next between aoV and Vanquish. I'm Golden Boy. This is TP. We'll be right back.